Hello, I'm Dr. Paul, and this is my beautiful wife, Lynn. And today we are going to discuss some of the testimonials that we've gotten from people who have used our products. And Lynn will start off with this.
Okay, and there's also going to be some questions and answers that we've had. So here we go. Hi Lynn, I'm amazed. After 2 hours of standing, I am normally hurting so bad, and the next day I have a hard time. I ran errands, baked all day yesterday from 4 a.m. to 10:30 p.m., and I did not hurt. Today I woke up and I was able to run again all day. Normally, my knees can't do this. I need help. I need to make more pain patches. Which vials do I need to get? The inflammation or what? Please let me know. Thank you for helping me be able to do all my mom jobs without constant pain. And this is somebody who had already ordered our plasma energy station, and that is the original product that you put together. And how many energies do you think we have in that?
There's a whole bunch. Each one of those vials has several. So I didn't count them up, but there's a lot.
There's a lot, and we have 16 vials on there. I think at the point that I sat down and really tried to track all the vitamins, herbs, teas, minerals, essential oils, supplements, everything that was in there, I came up with several hundred. So there's a lot of energies in there. But what happened after we did the plasma energy station is we started doing specific formulas for various things. So in the case of this individual who has sore knees, there's several things that can be done. And Paul, you used to use these for your sore knees.
Right. Yeah, I slip on 3 of these on over each knee, and wear them during the day, and at night take them off because they're hard to sleep with. But we don't use these anymore because we've come up with a much less cumbersome way of dealing with knee arthritic pain, and that's by putting the plasma energy water on Band-Aids. And we just take a fabric-backed Band-Aid and put several drops of plasma energy water on the pad, on the Band-Aids, and stick them on our knees. And for me, that eliminates all my arthritic knee pain, which was pretty bad. It's not anymore.
And these are smaller Band-Aids than we're using on knees and legs, but they're appropriate if you were going to use them on, say, your hand or your wrist, and you do an X with 2 of the Band-Aids on one side, and then you put a single Band-Aid on the other side. And you just leave them there until they fall off, and if you need to add more, we suggest making up several dozen and then just storing them in a plastic bag, and they're ready to use whenever you need them. So that's one way. The other way we've done for pain relief is to make a spray bottle of it. You'll have your basic vial that you use, and it's in your, what I call your mother source, your main source. Once this is set up and charged overnight, then you can make another vial to put in, say, a spray bottle that you keep handy. And if you have a sore hand or something and don't want to take time to put the Band-Aids on, just spray some water on it. You can also add this to lotions that you use, or if you use a liquid soap, you can add it to that. So that's another idea of how to do that.
You can also drink that water.
Oh, you bet.
Yeah.
And, you know, in the case that he might have a hot-headed spouse, I guess he could take it and spray it on her head, right? So, okay, so that's the one we have on that question. Hi, it's Sherry. I did receive my plasma energy station a few weeks ago. Sorry, I've been meaning to email you and let you know. My husband and I are really enjoying it. I've noticed a huge difference with my energy and overall sense of well-being. Plus, I've started dreaming every night. Very interesting. I'm curious, if I spray some paper towel with water from my station, will those paper towels have the same strength of the energy as my pads? I really want to share this with family and friends, but I don't know if it'll be as effective. What do you say, Paul?
Yes.
Okay, and why?
Because the plasma energy does not lose its intensity. It stays the same. It's not a matter of more or less, it's a matter of just being there.
Okay, and then we have something turned upside down that I can't read. Okay. I received my 16 vials and set up the station. I'm excited to use the station and have a question. I've heard you say that the intention added will allow the mix of 16 vials to do everything, but then I see that you have single vials to do specific things, so I'm confused. Do I need more specific vials or just some for specific purposes? I want to do this properly. Thank you. So how would you answer that?
The single vials that are for specific reasons are different than the ones that are on the plasma energy station. Now, the ones that are on the plasma energy station are designed to have all of their energies meld together and be a general support for the body, the mind, the emotions, spirit, and the single individual vials are meant as specifics for eyes, arthritic knees, sore teeth, anything specific like that.
Okay. All right, and then we have, let's see here. I'm sorry, this ran a couple. I can't wait to add this to my zero water filter container. The water out of the 16 vial setup tastes so much better. Now I can get a clean mind effect first and then add the filtered and the clean mind water to the 16 vial setup. It shouldn't be a problem to double up like that, should it? So, and what she meant was clear mind. So what she's talking about is she has the plasma energy station, the 16 vials, but she had later ordered a vial of clear mind. So she wanted to know if she could just add it to the 16 vials on the energy station. And yes, she can, but I always suggest that you set up what I call the mother source first, and your clear mind vial could go inside this, or it could be taped to the outside. It's got to be a clear glass or a clear plastic container. It can also be a colored, but must be translucent container like a spray bottle. Just don't use any opaque containers or stainless steel or crockery. And the zero water filter was something I suggested to people who live in the city who are having to use tap water as their main water source. And in costing out whether you're going to use more distilled water and have to carry it from the store, or if it's more convenient to set up a zero water filter or a similar filter of that type, just do the math in the area where you live, where you can find out what the pricing is. The zero water filters will typically last anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks, and I believe when you can find a good price on them, they're going to be around $24. So you just have to kind of figure out in that same time period, how many bottles of distilled water would you have used? If you have filtered water, if you have good well water, if you have good spring water, then obviously you'll be able to use that water. Do you have anything else you would add to that?
No.
Okay. And I have had a couple people who used their well water and then wrote me several, like a few months later and said, my plasma energy station water has some strange color or a strange odor. And at that point I've told him, you know, your well water must not be quite the quality that you thought it was, and you'll need to do something different. Would you agree with that? Yeah. Okay, and then this is one of the best ones I ever got, because sometimes people will tell us, oh, the plasma energy stuff is all in your head. Or it's all woo-woo, it's all way out there. Well, this was a message about Ella the guinea pig. Hi, I'm going to order another plasma energy station. I ordered all of it last year, but it's still in the box, and here's what happened. I put the box on top of my guinea pig Ella's cage. She was about 10 years old and dying of cancer. She had a large tumor, probably a sarcoma, on her lower back. She was lethargic, losing weight, and losing her appetite. I was planning on having her put to sleep. Once I set that box of GANS material there, she started to improve. The tumor gradually went away and she recovered fully. I have never moved the box since, so I want to order another one. She's back to her sweet, happy self at an advanced stage for a guinea pig. Well, Paul, you worked with a lot of animals with sarcomas. What would you say about that?
I'd say that's something I never heard of before. I'd say it's very unusual, and it was a surprise to me to hear that. But what that shows is the balancing effect that the plasma energy vials had on the guinea pig. Just balanced all the energies within that guinea pig, and since the cancer was an out of balance tumor, it eliminated it. It took a while, I'm sure, but the balancing of all the energies got rid of the tumor and restored Ella to health.
And how long do guinea pigs usually live?
Not very long, maybe 7 or 8 years. 10 years old is old for a guinea pig.
Okay, so a 10-year-old sick guinea pig is quite remarkable to see a change in.
Right.
And see, I've just talked about having clear glass and clear plastic and everything else. And so what happened with Ella, the package she received looked like this, but it was inside a cardboard mailing container, and the whole thing was set on the top of her cage. I think what happened is they just set it in there when they came in the door, and then it never got moved. So that's one of my favorite stories or testimonials there. Then I have a message from someone here who was asking about intention. And I said, hi, Elena, intention is really an important part of all this. It's great that you are doing it as you are. Mr. Kesh always emphasized that nobody is wrong with plasma energy, and there are more ways to accomplish what you wish with the plasma energy. I had an energy worker tell me this last week that she feels like it's a living energy, and was really excited about all the energy she felt in the gloves that we sent her. And Ella had said, I am fully energized and I'm doing much more than I used to. So people are telling me that I look vibrant, beautiful, healthy. This is Elena talking. And energy is flowing from me. I do not get in the heavy traffic here in the city I live in. I can see the heavy traffic in the opposite direction, and I'm drinking over a gallon of the plasma water every day. Most days I only drink water. Others I've eaten small salad because it's among the food I already have. So I did respond to that and say, how nice to hear that you are vibrant, beautiful, and healthy. I'm sharing a couple of ideas about using the energy in our environments. I've placed tiny clear plastic jars the size of a lip salve, like lip salve comes in, around the perimeter of our apartments. I used a large spoon to dig a hole to put them in. I put the dirt and rocks over them, and these holes, this was a spoon out of the kitchen drawer, so these holes were only about that deep. And then I put the little container in and I covered them over. Are they going to freeze in the winter? It doesn't matter. What happens with the plasma energy if it freezes?
Nothing. I mean, it's still there.
It's still there.
It doesn't change. It's still there.
So, and people have often asked me about, will heat affect the plasma energy? They're concerned about too hot or too cold. What would you say to that?
No.
It does not.
No, it's not going to affect it.
Okay. All right. And then this is another one. I've been drinking the water daily. I was very skeptical at first, but I tried it anyway from a friend. By the second day, I noticed a change in my pain level, and I wasn't feeling as tired. I just learned how to make my own pads from the water I already have. Now I will be able to drink as much as I want through the day. I lost a couple of pounds in a couple of weeks. My doctor is very happy now that I'm motivated to do something about my weight and my overall health. And I wrote back and said, thanks so much for letting us know how you're doing. You can take some of your water that you're drinking and put it in a spray bottle and spray it directly on areas where you might have pain. And I'm glad you've made the pads. You can also wear them as well as using them on your water container. And then as we've shown you just now, you can also do them on Band-Aids. If you have an area you want to wear pads on, you can try putting them under a bandana or a scarf tied around the area. Once again, we've simplified that with Band-Aids, haven't we?
Right.
Another thing you can do is take a stretchy older sock and cut the foot off and use the sock as a sleeve on your leg or arm to hold patches in place. And for that matter, they could have sprayed the whole sock.
Spray the sock and just slip it on, right?
Just experiment with it and see what you come up with. Thanks. And then I have, here's a tidbit if you want to add something about that clear mind. I recently had a quantum feedback session and treatment. One of the things that is treatment is a part of the process that is the brain. The woman who was running the test in the treatment said there were no brain issues to balance, and that was the first time she had ever seen that happen. I drink some Clear Mind water every day. So, do you think that makes a difference? And that was from my experience. And I had this input from someone. There are 4 of us who live near each other and we're cooking on all burners. One of these, my friends will pick up a plasma energy station for me tomorrow, and now we have several of us and who are doing the energy stations in our area. We have ball and Kerr, like mason jars, available in small and large cases at a nearby Walmart. So this is how they're setting up all their different vials or containers, is with those jars. Last night, one of our group went to a meeting at her church, and she and her minister's wife put a bunch of pads all over the church. The minister has a station, and it's being in use completely. Another is getting for a station for her daughter, who's coming later in January. We are a little community of like-minded researchers who are keeping water journals of our idea and experiences. And she goes on to say, also, I went to wrap a sick tree in sprayed tree wrap with maybe a few pads taped to it in half baggies for extra energy in the winter. And this was written to me during the winter time. What would happen if I put 2 glass jugs instead of 1 glass jug in a plastic box? Would that work just as well? I love the glass iced tea jug with the spigot, and I can label each jug with the vials that are on it. What do you think? Well, of course, that all depends on how much room you have, doesn't it?
Right.
And she finishes up and said, I have so much energy since drinking the water. I have several glasses a day, and I'm practically levitating up to the ceiling. Remember how tired and spacey I was after the first trip that you made to meet with our group? Now I'm clear, grounded, focused, and energized. Thank you, with love and gratitude. And I'll do one more of these. Let's see. Here's somebody who says, I have another question. The plasma station appears to have a lot of energy components. Are there any contraindications to any of the combinations? Do you leave all these on the station, or can you remove and add others to the station? So Paul, how would you like to answer that one?
Well, you can remove them and add others if you want to. It's entirely up to you. The way it's designed right now, it gives out a good, viable energy field, and what I recommend is just to leave it the way it is with the 16 vials, and then use, if you have other vials that you want to use them separately for their specific uses.
Well, and the other thing about keeping them separate is that you then have the ability to share that separate item with other family members and friends.
Right.
But if somebody had 3 or 4 of the extra vials, it wouldn't do any harm to make a vial and add it to the energy station, would it?
No, it wouldn't hurt at all. That's fine. This is something that's very versatile, and it's a balancing effect. And if you have something on there that you don't need, it's not going to cause any problems. If you're already in balance with that specific element, it's not going to affect you one way or the other. So if you're out of balance, it'll bring you into balance. But if you're already in balance, having that energy there is not going to affect anything one way or the other.
Okay, and as you can see, we have, well, I'll do one more. I'm sure the remedies you have introduced me to are doing their job. I went to the internist for a thorough blood workup because of brain fog and tiredness, and my results were very, very good. He couldn't believe it. I also have a woman in alternative medicine who does blood work on the side. We looked at a sample under the microscope, and it was very revealing to compare to the last sample they had done of mine, which showed evidences of candida, white cells that were not round, and a lot of debris. In other words, the blood was dirty. This time it looked clean, no debris, no candida. The white cells were round and big. The red blood cells were healthy. She said it was the blood of a 20-year-old. So now I am just dealing with more healing, minimizing pain, and minimizing an issue of degeneration of the spine. Maybe tiredness is a part of the healing process. And so she says, P.S. I'm taking the same supplements that I was before, so I know this has to be the plasma energies. I take the plasma energy water and use it to make inflammation remedy and clear brain, and that's what I drink. My dog is also better, and he drinks nothing but the inflammation water. And now he runs nuts. He limps a little the next day, but there's an 80% improvement. I think you sent me the vials in March or April, but I saw my blood on the slide, and it was really good. The big round circles and everything is moving, so it was fun and a neat surprise. So that's pretty awesome, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And a lot of this stuff is surprising to us also.
Well, we want to thank you. As you can see, we have lots more to go through, and these are just among the ones that I printed. However, you can go to our website and look at the section on FAQs, frequently asked questions, and testimonials, and we have a lot more for you there, and a lot of them come with pictures, which are pretty interesting. Our website is plasmaenergysolution.com. And you have anything you'd like to add?
I think that's it for now. We just want to remind you to give us a big thumbs up and share this with your friends and relatives. And also, if you would like to get notification of upcoming videos, please subscribe and click the bell next to the subscribe button. And thank you for your time and interest. We appreciate it.